Good afternoon, Beeville. This is Cindy Clark from PAC-B TV, and I'm here at the Baldwinsville Public Library with Meg Van Patten, the director of the library, and we are here tonight to watch the dedication of the new children's room in honor of Maryella and Elizabeth Annell. And thank you very much, Meg, for coming and taking the time out of your busy day to do this. But why don't you explain to us how this all got started and what we've been doing and what brought us to this day?
Okay. So the Baldwinsville Library was built 27 years ago. When it was built, Bruce King, a local Baldwinsville resident and architect, was the architect for the building, and he had the design for a section of a canal boat in the children's room that kids could actually sit in because of the Baldwinsville connection with the Baldwin Canal and now the Barge Canal. Well, it didn't happen financially at the time. So about 10 years ago, Maryella, the director, retired and I became director. I've been here working much longer than that. And I had two goals. One was that the canal boat would happen. The other is the picture books were on standard shelving, shelved like just the rest of the books. Skinny books with just the title on the spine. If you're talking about a 3-year-old, 5-year-old, that's not really going to interest them much. And then, of course, there are times when kids want books on a particular subject, a picture books. And sometimes moms want picture books on a certain subject when they want to explain something like a new baby coming into the house. So I wanted to be able to have them in bins where the kids could see the books face out, and to have some of them instead of straight author order by subject. So then, of course, the accident happened. And how I found out was the children's librarian at the time came into my office, told me about the accident, and said how the girls were library users. And one of them, just a few weeks before, and I believe it was Maryella, had won one of our summer reading program prizes. And then when I went to the calling hours, Maureen, their mom, said something about doing something, they'd like to do something at the library. So they contacted me one day, set up an appointment, and they came in, asked if we were looking at anything in terms of changes, remodels, anything, additions, whatever. So I explained about the boat and about the picture books. So they said, would you mind if we had an architect come and take a look? I said, sure, I'd be glad to. And so he did. And then she arranged a meeting with the architect. It was the architect, the Annells, Megan, who was children's librarian at the time, and myself. And he sat down with us and just talked generally about what kinds of things and what we're looking to see. So I explained about my goal with the boat and the books. The Annells talked about the girls and their reading, and Elizabeth was into computers and all those different things, and the connection and being library users. Megan, the children's librarian, said, I would like it to be someplace where the kids know it's for them. And that's how it all started. And then the Annells hired the architect, and we had several meetings with the architect and the Annells, came up with the design. And then the Annells, I said we would take care of the bins and the boat. Sylvia Magnarelli gave us $20,000 already for the boat before all this conversation started. And so we raised more money for the boat through different donations we gotten where people made a donation to the library, but not for something specific. And then the immediate past president of the library board, Barb Aiken, passed away last fall, and she left the library some money, so that's going to help take care of the boat. I approached the Rotary in terms of the bins, because we have the standard shelving, and the shelving's modular in such a way that we can use the same frame and just put the bins in instead of a regular shelf.
Okay.
And so I approached Rotary, said we were looking for $20,000, And they said if you raise 10,000, we'd give you 10,000. And we did. And so that worked out for that. And the Annals did all kinds of things to raise funds for the rest of the project. They raised a large amount of money that paid for the whole rest of the project. So it's been great. And when we started to actually do the work, Maureen got some of their friends and things from Annals Angels and the family friends and everybody else to come in and help. And in 2.5 days, between her volunteers and the library staff, who did a yeoman's job too, we moved absolutely everything out of children's. All the collections, all the media, all the furniture, all the shelving, everything. The circulation desk or reference desk, everything, in 2.5 days. Then the contractors came in and did their work, and gradually we started to put some stuff back as they finished things. And the shelving guy came and put all the shelving in place and put the new bins. And the staff and a few volunteers have worked amazingly over the last 3 weeks, getting those pictures books converted. Some of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, to different subjects. So now when the kids go into the children's section, if they've got an interest, there's zoo, there's bedtime, there's all kinds of topics. They can look through those. The funny part of that story is one of the other librarians was showing the kids, because in the interim we had the books in the community room. And the staff had started working on changing the picture books. And so as they did it, they would put a box under the table, because they were all on the table in author order. So they put a box under the table, and they would label the subject on the front of the box and put them in. So one of the other librarians was showing a little kid, because one of the categories was something he was interested in. And she goes, see, and she showed how you could just flip through and you could see the covers, just like looking at record albums. Of course, then she realized probably a kid
no idea what a record
didn't
album
know what a
was,
record album
right?
is. But yes, they've got things back and everything in order and the new arrangement and everything. So yeah, a lot of people worked really hard for all this to happen.
And here we are tonight.
Yes.
Here we are tonight, and we're almost there.
Yep.
Make sure you stay tuned. Everybody stay tuned for the actual dedication of this room. But Meg, thanks so much for coming,
you're welcome.
Explaining the whole history of all this. And, what a lovely tribute for these young ladies.
Absolutely.
It absolutely is. And kudos to this community, because, once again, the community always comes through.
Yes.
Thanks again, Meg.
It's a great community.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But they said Raven signed. I think there were words. My dad's waiting.
Good evening, everybody. Hello. Is it working?
It's working.
Hello. Good
A little
evening.
bit.
My name is Meg Van Patten. I'm the library director, and we're grateful that all of you were able to come this evening. I want to just over here on my left, we have some of our library board members. The gentleman with the yellow tie there is Craig. Craig McGuire is the president of our library board, and then there's Mary Lou Carpinella, Linda Clarkson, and Marianne Williams, who is also the director of the chamber. So we're grateful to her for the loan of that chamber. Has some really great scissors. They were serious stuff there. We also have here Nadicia from Senator May's office, and we have Bob Wicks from the county supervisor government, and we have Joe DeBari. Where is Joe? Right there, the superintendent of the Baldwinsville Schools. So we're grateful that all of you were able to join us tonight. So 75 years ago is when the library started. And for children's services, they had some books. They had a story time where somebody got somebody to build little benches so the kids wouldn't get splinters from the rough floor of the old trolley station it was in. And so now to come forward 75 years and have, excuse me, all this wonderful space. When I took over as director 10 years ago, I've been here a lot longer, actually 1979, but 10 years ago when I took over as director, I had two goals. One, to get the picture books into bins by subject, so it'd be much easier for the little ones to look at them, to pick them out instead of looking at skinny spines. The other was when we built the building 27 years ago, Bruce King was the architect, a Buttlesville resident, and he drew the design for a canal boat, a section for the kids to actually sit in. Because across the street where the post office is where the canal used to be, the original Baldwin Canal. So I had those two goals in mind. And then after the tragedy happened, the analysts came to me and said, are you planning on anything with renovation, expansion, whatever? So I told them what I was looking at, those two goals. They said, would you mind if we had an architect come and speak? Look, I said, sure. And that was the start of it, into what, this amazing space that you'll see tonight. The canal boat's not here yet because we had to go through all the state hooplas, and that'll actually come in October. And the tree is on its way, but the rest of it is here, and we're looking forward to having you see it and see what you think. On the checkout desk is a little ballot thing. We had people suggest names for the sloth and the koala that are going to live in the tree. And they took the top names, and you can vote. There's like 6 possible names for each animal. So they did that so that you can vote tonight as to which name you think should be for the koala and the sloth. And afterwards, please do join us in the community room. We got lots of cookies and cake and ice cream. So again, I'm very grateful to the Annals, Maureen and Tom, for all the work they have done for this, to raise the funds to make this possible. And I'm grateful to all the volunteers and staff who helped with the work itself as well as fundraising. When we had to empty the room for the renovations, between volunteers from Maureen and Tom's friends and acquaintances and the library staff, we, in 2.5 days, emptied this room of the collections, the magazines, the furniture, the bookshelves, everything, and then the contractor came in and did his thing. And we appreciate the patience of patrons who had to put up with some of the kids' stuff was over here, some was over there, but it's really been a great thing, and we're very grateful to the Annals. And so at this point, Tom is going to take over. He's got that serious.
Thanks, Meg. I got to thank you everybody for coming out tonight. We really appreciate you guys all being here tonight. Shortly after the accident, Maureen and I had a vision of doing something special with the library. It was a great place the girls enjoyed to come to, and we thought it would be a great way to give back to the community for being so supportive and generous to us after that time. We want to be thankful for our friend Greg Furman, who suggested we talk to the architects. And we worked several times with Joe Pirano and Kristen Almazin. And was Kristen here? She was supposed to be here. There she is, she's over here. Kristen, thank you so much. It was a pleasure working with you. We worked with them to get our ideas out, and they put it out on paper for us. And they generously donated so much of their time designing the project and just putting all our ideas on paper. From there, we went with our contractor, Mark Smith. And Mark, are you here someplace? He's way in the back there, I think. Mark took everything we had on paper and put it all together for us. And the electricians from Myriad Electricians. They were great to work with, both Mark and his staff, and the Myriad people, they were great. Another thank you we want to give out to is one of our dear friends, Sarah Kelly. She's a graphic designer who helped us out with the design of our logo and our t-shirts. And she also worked with this sign that's going to be revealed here. It's beautiful. We can't wait to see it. We can't thank Sarah enough for all her hard work for us. We also want to thank the people at Fast Signs who put the sign together for us very quickly and got it all up for us. And we want to be thankful to everybody in this community. Your support has been wonderful. We want to thank our family, the friends, all the local businesses that were here in this community. Many people we've never met before have stepped up and been supportive and generous to help us get this fundraising going for this. We were up for a grant from CNY Tuesdays, and so many of you voted for Annals Angels that we received a $2,000 grant for this project. We applied for it, and we're very thrilled to be honored to receive a $10,000 grant from the Julie and Jim Boeheim Foundation last fall. And a friend of our family and also a big supporter of the Beeville Library, Susan Downey, also donated generously to the project. Another local not-for-profit, the Beeville Connection, surprised us not once, but twice with two fundraisers for us. The first presented us with a $15 check from their Easter Bunny Brunch, and the next was a $500 check for the proceeds from their first gala. And really, yes, thank you. And our hearts were really warmed by the lemonade stands, and several kids in Baldwinsville have donated the proceeds to us for this project. We received countless of donations from individuals, large and small, that were put towards this library project. And last year, in September, we held our first 5K for the fundraiser specifically for this project. So many of our friends and family helped with the event, including Mary Ralston, Kevin Delaney, Holly DeMar, the Flood family, Molly and Kali Ivanchuk, the Chetney family, and the Falkenberg family. We want to thank Joe DeBarberi, the Baldwinsville School District, and his staff for all their support and allowing us to pursue this project. And lastly, we want to thank Meg Van Patten and the entire staff here at the Baldwinsville Library for being open to our ideas and being so easy to work with. We're thankful to Meg, who is the director of the library, for not only allowing us to do this project, but excitedly working alongside with us. She has brought more to this project by adding new shelves for the children, as well as a new tugboat that will be installed at a later date. And to help with this project, the Baldwinsville Rotary also graciously donated $10,000 for the new shelving in here. Since we formed Annals Angels, we want to thank the community's generosity for donating books to us. And so far we have donated 4,580 books to other community organizations who have severe kids at risk. We have begun receiving requests now from organizations for book donations, and that makes us very happy. That's what we were hoping for. So. We plan to continue to honor Maryella and Elizabeth with book drives, as well as look to other opportunities to make a difference in the lives of children in our community. This is going to include reading literacy, computer literacy, and driving literacy. And I know a lot of Maryella and Elizabeth's friends are here, and their cousins. And if you're interested, if you guys would like to come up for the ribbon cutting, come on up now. Come on up.
Behind the ribbon with them.
All right. Three, two, one. All right, drop it. Ready? Three. Just drop it. There we go.
Let's see what this sign looks like. Alright, so next, here comes the drape. You can go in and check it all out, and then do go in the meeting room over here by the entrance for refreshments. And if you didn't already, don't forget to sign a guest book over by the entrance.